My dad's dad, Art Goldberg, was Jewish, and for their wedding he gave my parents this beautiful Hanukkah menorah we used every year. And I think every other present he gave any of us, and he gave us plenty of presents, was a book. If you asked a lot of Jews, what is Jewish culture? Um, I'll bet they'd talk about those two things. Jewish holidays and their commitment to memory and to honoring the thousands of years of Jews who came before you, and about a love of learning and a love of debate that all those books definitely shared with me. My mom's dad, Gurcharan Singh Gill, grew up Sikh in Punjab state in India. My sister went over there a couple years ago, and she brought back this bracelet from the city of Anandpur. It's called a kara, and it's a symbol the last Sikh guru gave to people who joined the Khalsa, the Sikh lay priesthood. They'd promise not to cut their hair, and they'd wear the bracelet and other symbols as signs that they were willing to take a stand against oppression, and that in a time of persecution, which it was, they wouldn't let anybody take their identity away, and they wouldn't try to hide it. And if you talk to a lot of Sikhs about Sikh culture, they'd probably talk to you about that pride and the sense of brother and sisterhood that comes from standing together. They'd talk to you about the values of charity and standing up for justice and community that their gurus taught. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm a Mormon. That's where I go to church on Sunday. Um, I've raised my kids very Mormon. I think very Mormon thoughts all the time. It's probably the biggest part of my personal lifestyle and identity. If you asked a lot of Mormons about Mormon culture, we'd probably get a little bit embarrassed. We might tell you some joke about a weird Jello salad, or roll our eyes and tell you a strange BYU dating story. Somehow, I think in our community, we've forgotten what culture really is. We think culture is the edges of culture, the weird things we do that we're kind of self-conscious about, or things we don't do. I've never made a strange Jello salad in my life. But culture really is about the way you live, the way you relate to other people, the patterns of values that all the stories and jokes and memories around you teach. And I think Mormon culture is a really strong, rich culture. I love the value of not just immediate family, but extended family. I love the idea that you should know your neighbors and serve them and be a part of them. I love thinking about this life as a preparation, as something that's not just a pass-fail test, but something that's going to matter in a grand eternal circle of spiritual generations. And I wish that when we talked about Mormon culture, we could think about that, you know, that we could think about the things that we base our life around, and not just the fluff and the kitsch on the edge of our community and who we are. I'm helping run a contest now. It's called the Mormon Lit Blitz. And what we want are short works, any form, essays, poems, short stories, comic strips, that people can read in less than 3 minutes. And we want them to explore the way that real heart of true Mormon culture interacts with your creativity in some way. So we want to see you take something you care about and use literary work to highlight a value or raise the kind of question somebody who lives your life might ask. And we want to do this and share it with Mormons as our own little way of saying, we've got nothing to be ashamed of, right? Our culture is something we can own, we can feel good about, and we can look for deeper meaning in. So I hope you'll share your stories with me and with other people, and that together we can find ways of showing the richness and the beauty of the tradition that we come from and that we call home. Thanks.